Hello and welcome back to another lecture from organic chemistry. In this lecture, I will be talking about the properties of amine. And if you're dealing with a primary, secondary, or tertiary amines, there will be a nitrogen with a lone pair. And that lone pair, it can apply some steric effect, and that steric effect, it will push the bonding pairs and force them to get close to each other. And the output of that steric effect, bond angle for a tetrahedral geometry from 109, it will go down to 107.5, or you can say 108. But that lone pair also, it will affect a huge role in stereochemistry of the molecule and also acidity and basicity of the amine. When it comes to optical activity, and imagine you have a nitrogen, a tertiary nitrogen with three different substituents, R1, R2, R3, and the fourth substituent is the lone pair. So I have a nitrogen with four different groups, and because there are different nitrogen, it will be a stereocenter, and that's completely correct. And if you put a mirror image and a mirror in the front of it, the mirror image of it, it will be another enantiomer. So can I have enantiomers? The answer is yes. We do have enantiomers for tertiary amines. But the problem is those two enantiomers, they can easily get transferred to each other. We will have inversion between them. And the output of it, it will be hard to separate those two enantiomers. And whenever you try to measure the optical activity, you will find it is racemic. It doesn't mean you don't have enantiomers. You do have, but because they can easily transfer to each other, they will cancel optical activity of each other, and the solution will be non-optically active. Next thing is the solubility. And if you compare them with alkane, because amines, they have hydrogen attached to electronegative element like nitrogen, they can form hydrogen bonding, similar to alcohol. So their boiling temperature is going to be high. And their boiling temperature is higher than alkane, and that's completely correct because of the hydrogen bonding. It's less than alcohol. The reason behind it, because electronegativity of oxygen is higher than nitrogen, and higher than carbon. And the output of it, oxygen, it can apply huge force on hydrogen. It will steal a good amount of electron density from hydrogen. So the positive charge in hydrogen is going to be a bigger number versus, and because we have a bigger positive charge on hydrogen bonding for alcohol is going to be stronger than amine. And that's the reason their boiling temperature is higher. Now, when you switch from primary amine to tertiary amine, you are getting rid of the hydrogen and you will replace it by an alkyl group. And because we lose the hydrogen, that means we're going to lose the hydrogen bonding actually power. And so as you see, from primary amine, the boiling temperature from 50 is going down to 34 in a secondary. And if you replace last hydrogen by another methyl or ethyl group, the boiling temperature goes down to something around 3. Okay, what's the reason behind it? The reason behind it, the first one, the primary, it can form 3 hydrogen bonding. This one, the secondary, it can form 2 hydrogen bonding, and the last one, it can form 0 hydrogen bonding. Okay. Yes, all nitrogens come with a lone pair, but the last one, the tertiary, is not capable of forming hydrogen bonding because there is no hydrogen attached to electronegative element like nitrogen. And the strongest force that you will have, it will be dipole-dipole. So this is going to be the strongest force for it. And because the dipole-dipole is weaker than hydrogen bonding, the boiling temperature, it will go down. Now, you might ask, how come the secondary alcohol, it can form 2 hydrogen bonding while we have only 1 hydrogen attached to nitrogen? And where do you get the second hydrogen bonding? So how come we don't have hydrogen bonding on a trimethyl amine? Okay, so imagine the blue one is your starting molecule. Okay, and now that molecule, it can see 2 neighbor molecules, and it will it can have this interaction between lone pair nitrogen number 1 and hydrogen from another molecule. Remember, hydrogen has a positive charge because it will lose electron density to nitrogen. Okay, that's one hydrogen bonding. And the second hydrogen bonding, we can have it between hydrogen and lone pair on another nitrogen atom from third, let's call this one the third molecule, and that's going to give us second hydrogen bonding. So as you see, one hydrogen bonding, we got it through a lone pair nitrogen. The second one, we got it through hydrogen. And if you get rid of the hydrogen, because you will not have those hydrogens anymore, you cannot form any hydrogen bonding, even you have a lone pair. Okay, and that's the reason we see a huge drop with the boiling temperature. Now, primary, secondary, and tertiary amines do have a lone pair, and that lone pair, it can get involved in acid-base reaction. So whenever you mix it with an acid or in any compound that it has acidic H, it will behave as a base, and it will remove H from the acid, and that's going to give us a conjugate acid plus a conjugate base. Reaction is going to move to the right side. The reason behind it, as you see, the pKa for the product is higher than pKa of the starting compound, that means we got a weaker acid. And the reaction will move to the side that it has a weaker acid. And as you see, equilibrium is favoring the product side. Now, I have to remind you that ethyl or alkyl groups are electron donating groups. The more we have from them, the higher electron density will be sitting on nitrogen. And so nitrogen, it will be stronger base in acid and in base reactions. So for example, we have 4 molecules here, and starting from ammonia, I replace the H with ethyl and then 2 ethyl, and at the end, I get rid of all hydrogen, replace them by 3 ethyls. So if I want to talk about the basicity, I'm going to say this one, this compound, it will be the strongest base. So number 1 is the one with 3 ethyls, and next one, it will be the one with 2 ethyls, and here, this one will be the third one, and the weakest base will be ammonia. Why? Because ethyls are electron donating group. They will increase the electron density on nitrogen, and that's going to increase the basicity. Now, this effect is through induction. Okay, what do I mean by induction? You have a group, electron donating group. They are increasing electron density, okay, through a space, not resonance. Through a space, they are, or through some chemical bonds, they are increasing the electron density on nitrogen. And now, if you, for example, compare CH3 with fluorine or chlorine, you will find out that CH3 is an electron donating group, while fluorine is an electron withdrawing group. And when it comes to electron basicity, fluorine is going to pull electron density to this side. That means it will apply some induction effect or pulling effect, and it will pull the lone pair, okay, to itself. While CH3, it will increase the electron density on nitrogen. So between these two, I'm going to say CH3, it will increase the basicity, while fluoride, it will drop the basicity. So the one with the electron withdrawing, with electron donating group, it will be a stronger base. So this one will be a stronger base. And the effect until now is through induction. Now, is it possible to increase or decrease the acidity or basicity through resonance? Okay, yes, that's another way to touch actually the basicity. Anything that move the lone pair from nitrogen, move it away from nitrogen, that's gonna drop the basicity. Okay, so if you can do resonance structures or get the lone pair and involve in resonance structures, that's gonna move the lone pair way away from nitrogen, and the output of it, the basicity, it will go down. Okay, and the basicity, it will show up on other other atoms. So as you see, except the first one, on nitrogen, we have a positive charge instead of a negative charge. So here, okay, this one, as you see, we have positive charges there. So I'm going to say nitrogen is not that strong base anymore. Why? Because it gave the lone pair to the ring, and now the lone pair is somehow hidden inside the the ring. And so I'm going to say this nitrogen, it will be a weaker base, okay, a weaker base, but enriched the ring, and the electron density on the ring now is higher. So ring will be more capable of getting involved in electron in electrophilic substitution reactions. Okay, any electron donating group is going to increase the basicity. So first one is an electron donating group. How do I know it's an electron donating group? Because it has 2 lone pair, and those 2 lone pair, they can be shared with the ring. So instead of taking lone pair from nitrogen, this time oxygen is giving lone pair to the ring. And the output of this, the partial negative charge here, and nitrogen is going to go up. So the basicity will go up. Basicity, it will go up if you replace it by electron with the electron donating group. And okay, reference is going to be hydrogen, okay, methoxide, methoxy group is more electrodonated group than hydrogen. So as you see, the methoxy group is a stronger base than a benzene ring alone. Now, if you replace hydrogen by electron with a drawing group, in this case, I'm going to say the basicity, it will go down, right? But the acidity, it will go up. So this one will be weakest base, and that one it will be the strongest base. That means the weakest acid. How did we touch the basicity? We said this one is happening through resonance. And for example, if you have any electron with a drawing group that is capable of pulling the electron density from the ring, it will drop the acidity. For example, replace a hydrogen by a nitro group or a CN. And in one case, we can take the lone pair, this lone pair, and share it with the ring. And if that one happen, I will get such a thing. Okay, I can get this, and also here I can have a double bond. So what I did, I took this lone pair, shared it here, and now I move this one there, and move this one here, and those two electrons, I give them to nitrogen. And now I have a negative charge on nitrogen. So nitrogen will be -1, while this nitrogen, it will be +1. Okay, so we moved the electron density from nitrogen, from the aniline, and now we gave it to the CN. So I'm going to say the basicity went down. The same story with this one. And now I'm going to increase, I'm going to add one lone pair there. This one will be -1, -1, and this one will be +1, and this one also +1. Okay, so now my compound has two positive charges and two negative charges, and it's going to be neutral, but the output lone pair is not sitting on nitrogen anymore. So nitrogen is not going to behave as a base anymore because we gave the electron to oxygen. Okay, these two are electron withdrawing group. So as you see, they drop the electron density on nitrogen. While electron donating group like methoxy, it can share the lone pair, okay? And then this one goes there, and here this one's goes there, and it can actually increase the electron density on nitrogen. So for example, if we share, okay, lone pair with the ring, we can have something like this. Now, as you see, we have a negative charge close to nitrogen. Is it possible to share it with, with nitrogen? Yes, it's possible. Whenever nitrogen is in need of electron density, it can pull those two electrons and share it with acidic H or any electrophile. And this is going to be the end of this lecture. And thank you very much.